Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'd like to welcome you back to my shack here in Northwest Oregon. It's a special edition of Ham Radio Live. Hi, everybody. It's almost Thanksgiving. Holidays are here. Yep. And with that comes lots of gift ideas. Today, we're going to review something that, quite honestly, I'll be honest, I've had it ready for a long time. This is something kind of cool. Now, this is for ham radio. There's an item called the Geochron Atlas 4K. Now, there was an older version of the Geochron digital, but that's not this. This is something that released here in 2020. American made, by the way. And in the state of Oregon, I might add myself. A little proud there. Stick my chest out a little bit. It's a good product. It's fantastic. I'll tell you what I like about it. I'll tell you what you do with it. I'll give you an idea of my thoughts on it. It's not all positive. It's not all negative. I think it's a great addition for your ham shack. I think it can only help you. And honestly, I think you spend a lot of time looking at it as well. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for being here. Okay, so Geochron came out in 1964 with mechanical clocks. Literally. They were framed pictures that had the map of the world as it rotated on two rollers, like translucent film. And the map would roll one direction, right? And where the center of the map was where the sun was. Pretty cool, right? That started back in 1964, back in Redwood City, California. That's where Geochron was born. Now, they've moved up to the Pacific Northwest now, and they live, they work out of a suburb of Portland in the east side, and they still are in business. In fact, they still service the same exact Geochron originals even, back to 1964. Some of those parts, you think about that, folks. We're talking 56 years old right now, and they're still servicing those clocks. It's pretty good. Geochron Atlas is essentially a mini computer. It's exactly what it is. It has a Intel chip in it. It doesn't have a fan. In fact, I'll show it to you. I have it right here. See if I can get it on screen if I can. Here it is. This is the Geochron Atlas. It's right here. This is the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle, okay? Has a power cord that looks like it's on a mini HDMI. Has a Wi-Fi antenna, of course. It has, interestingly enough, a female HDMI, most likely to save space in the composite area of the body here of this. And it also could hook up to your Ethernet or to your Wi-Fi. Pretty cool. I have it set bridged across my watt meter there, so air gets to it from all sides. It's not, cooled by a fan. So the Geochron runs you right about $450. Thanks for the thumbs up. My goodness, getting thumbs up. Woohoo! Okay. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way. If you do, that'll help us be found in the search YouTube algorithm for people who want to learn about ham radio and be able to hopefully join our hobby and get on the air. Geochron Atlas, like I just showed, is a very small item. You can put it almost anywhere. Now, the only gripe I have on the product is it comes with a 1-foot HDMI cable. It's not usable. I mean, to me, it's not usable. I think most hams don't like to have something that is this large, literally hanging down your wall on the base, just hanging from an HDMI, and, it's got the power cable there and everything. Over time, things like that can wear. You can put stress on that HDMI cable and you can have, a little bit of a problem. So, I would have rather seen them for a $450 retail item, spend an extra couple of bucks and buy a 4-foot cable. Bring a 4-foot cable into the box. Probably going to increase the shipping size. I get it. But at the same time, it's $450. I shouldn't have to go to Best Buy and then go out and spend $30 to buy a 4-foot cable that should have come with the product in the first place. That's my opinion. Alonzo, my friend Alex, nice to see you. Yeah, it does allow the PC to go onto the screen. I have a dual screen here, Alex. So I've got one, the Geochron, the other side's the FTDX 101 MP. So I split them. But this is just to show you about the Geochron. To be quite honest, and this is really, I'm a pretty honest dude. I'll always shoot you straight. I'm that kind of person. I sleep with what I have to do during the day, and I'd rather be honest. The owner of Geochron's name is Patrick Boland. Now, Patrick, I'm just going to put it this way. Patrick and I had an agreement. He was going to send me a unit. And I went out and I bought a 4K monitor. Okay, 27 inch. Wasn't cheap. And then he never sent the unit. And then it never came. And I kept asking, where's the unit? Never came, never came, never came. So I finally went out and bought it. Felt, you know what? I'll give it a fair review because I'm sick and tired of looking at this box at the end of my haul that has a 4K 27-inch monitor inside it. And, you know, it's not even being put to use because that was a big expense for me at the time. So I went out, purchased the item over the weekend, and I'm going to show it to you for ham radio. And I'm going to give you an honest review on it. Okay. What happened with the owner? Don't get it. Just not the way I'd run a business, not the way I have run businesses, but that's his business model. I'm talking about the product itself here. And I think the product for ham radio people is really cool. I think you'll like this. Let me get you right over so you take a good look at this. Now, I had to cut this back in terms of its brightness because it is so vivid. Okay, this is on a 4K monitor. Okay, it's an HDR screen. I had to really pull back, okay, and give you an idea of how far back I had to pull because of the dynamic ability of this. I'm right now, if I go to my brightness settings alone, my brightness is at 0. No kidding. My brightness is at 0. It's that vivid. Now, one of the things that the Geochron will do, if you are interested in this, it will work on an HD screen. It'll work on a 4K screen. It just renders more information onto a 4K screen. That's what it does. So it will give you a lot more information, especially animation, you know, like weather. Yeah, it'll do weather. It also does air traffic control. You can see airplanes flying. You can see where they're going. You know, if you're tracking a flight, picking someone up from the airport, you can do it with Geochron. That's pretty cool. You also have the ability to do something really special. Let me get here onto the menu here. I've got to be honest. This is my second one of these. All right. Now my second one, I'd updated the first one and it got stuck on the COVID update and it literally froze. It wouldn't update. The people at Geochron were very, very helpful. They were amazing. They really were. They called me up within a couple of hours, had some great ideas, said they can help, you know, if this ever happens again, because I told them I'm just going to take it back and replace it. And they said, hey, no problem. If you ever have any more problems with it, you just let us know. We're here to help you. And they were good. Okay, so take a look. Here is, I'll try and move the monitor a little bit more your way. Okay, here is the monitor screen here. You can still see the Geochron on the left. Over here, you just got tons of things you can put on your screen. Now, one of the things they have here is amateur radio. So here's all the amateur radio satellites that are orbiting the Earth. So you just go down to it and you hit show all and watch the screen. It's going to start populating with all these signals and little lines coming from. See them? They're everywhere. Did you know that? 213 ham radio satellites are up there. That's true. So one of the things that Geochron also lets you do, which I think is really, really good, is they allow you to change the trail length and how long it's on the screen. Okay. Now that's right up here. So if I don't want to see all these long lines, you know, of all these satellites, you know, if I want to work a satellite that's coming my way, I know it's coming, but I want to cut back the amount of time that it's on the screen, you know, that it's actually moving. So I'm going to hit 10 minutes. Notice how small the lines got now. They're not so long anymore. So It makes it super easy, all right? So maybe you don't want something like weather, okay, just to clutter up the screen. So you take weather off. Now, personally, I would love the weather part. I think the weather part's cool. But because we're in the ham radio, let's go ahead and we're going to take a good look at what it looks like full screen. And there you go. That is not only all of the ham radio satellites in the world, the direction they're going, the speed at which they're going, as well as the direction where they're going. Is that amazing or what? Then you also get the gray line. Now see this here, of course, sunlight and dark, right? Now there's a couple of things you can do. I have this set to a soft darkness. That gives you gray line. You see this area right through here where it's not quite dark, not quite light. It just follows the shadow of the sun as it's going up or coming down, right? So that shows gray line. Now you can make that a very abrupt change if you want to. If you want to go ahead and make that different, all you do is change the terminator line to normal. Okay, so we'll move it over to normal and take a look. Now it's a real sharp line. See that? It no longer has that little edge. It's more very pronounced. So right now, we can tell just about right now, Berlin, we're getting to be just about sunrise, Pretty cool, isn't it? Right about, probably about an hour and a half. Our friends in New Zealand, going to be darkness. And gives you an idea. Also tells you where your location is and your time. It will pick it up automatically. It's a fantastic device. Alex, you're right. It's a fantastic device. This is more, in my opinion, than eye candy. This is something that you will enjoy. This is something you'll love to have in your shack. It's made in the USA. And if I remember right, from what Patrick Boland, the owner of the company, said, many of the product parts come within like 500 miles of the company plant in Oregon. And most of it US made. I like that. I really do. I'm a big proponent of, supporting my country. So that's just me. Okay. Not saying that other countries don't make good stuff. I just would like my country to be successful. That's all. And especially my state too. It's pretty cool that they're here in Oregon. So, all right. So now you see the terminator line and how it changes everything. Now we'll go ahead and we'll move this over so we can get back to let's say we want to see darkness a little bit better. Okay. Like where it's really dark. I just hit the reset button by accident. Sorry guys. It'll come back here in just a second. So let's say I want to really make those dark areas stand out. I really want them to come out real dark, right? So what I would do to make that work is I would increase the night opacity to 100. See, now I had it at 70. And the reason I had it at 70, I only use 60 or 70. Take a close look. You start to see the actual countries over here showing up once you take the opacity down a little bit. Like if I have it down here at 50, right? Now I can see Spain, France, Great Britain. It all shows up brilliantly. It's a fantastic product. It really is. I think that this is something that you would spend so much time just looking at, because it truly is such a special device. Look at all these ham radio satellites everywhere. It's phenomenal. Now the two long ones, okay, the yellow and the purple, all right? The yellow is the ISS, that's the International Space Station. The purple is the Hubble Space Telescope. So you always know when they're around. Now see how much lighter it got in the dark areas? You still see the cities light up, but you can make out the countries better. I kind of like that. But if you move it a little darker and a little darker, see what it's doing? Take a look at how dark it gets. It looks just like it would if you were in space. Check that out. I'm not even to 100% yet, my friends. That's how amazing this is. Look at this. It's just amazing. So it gives you a great idea of the power that this thing provides. Again, this is a mini computer, and it does a tremendous job of helping you to know when to work gray line, where gray line is outside your area. Remember, you can work along the gray line very, very well. So that's a good thing, okay? You can adjust the lights from the cities, okay? So if you want the city lights to really brighten up, you can do that. Like if you take a look here where Paris is, right over here, you can bring this down, okay, and see how the city lights start to dim, right? Or you can bring it back up. I like them up. I think it's beautiful when they're up. It just has this certain, I don't know, it's like it's life. It's like there's life in the map. It's beautiful. It really is. Now, you can get a Geochron at most ham radio stores, right? Ham Radio Outlet has it right now. If you go in person, you'll save $50 on it. It's $3.99. If you buy it, like order it over the internet, you're going to pay $50 more, okay? Just to let you know. The other thing it does, it'll show you air traffic. For example, if you want to see the air traffic in your area or around the world, you can show tons of airplanes flying all over the place. You really can. The weather on this is phenomenal. The weather is just, it's a cool feature. It really is. I'd like to stick this as much as I can with ham radio, but I will show you quickly the weather, okay? We'll do this in just a little bit. I'd rather not get to the the opening screens. We try and get you to register and do stuff, right? And I think I might be stuck for now. So let me just try and get to no thanks and okie doke. Anyway, this is Geochron. It is the Atlas 4K. I know you can buy it at Ham Radio Outlet, currently priced at just under $400. Just under $400. And it's a wonderful product. It really is. I mean, I have found it to be something that is a lot of fun to goof with. I'm just going to no thanks and just move on. Okay, so you can move the analemma, which is right here. This tells us, by the way, let me get back to full screen. This tells us, by the way, where it is noon, where it is 12 noon in the world right now. So in the world right now, it's 12 noon in parts of India, okay, parts of China, a little bit of Kazakhstan and Russia. That's where it's noon right now. It's also just about to the winter solstice. So you see most of Antarctica is lit up now, as it would be in the wintertime, right? Because the summer sun's there. This will slowly move up. This figure eight is called an analemma, slowly move up as the months go by. Yeah. Once we hit the first day of summer, it's at the top. So that's what it looks like. But what I love about this is you have the opportunity for just so much customization. They have, just to give you an idea real quick, they have the human map, which essentially is countries. I mean, it just gives you a good idea. It's countries, around the world. But keep in mind, the ham radio satellites are still there. The topographical map. This is what you see a lot of on maps, right? You see the relief where it's green in the valleys, brown, dark, whatever. It could be also, desert, show desert and show more lush, areas. So, you can see the different colors there on the topographical map. Oceanic starts to open up the ocean. You start to get a whole bunch of features inside the ocean here, like the Marianas Trench and stuff. Move over to ham radio. What's nice about this is you start getting the calls, the prefixes. Yep, here's your VKs. See that? Right there in Korea. There's your HLs. In Nepal, 9N. So there's your India. Laos, XW. It's a great way to know the prefixes and the calls of these hams and where they're at. It's just really cool. I'll be honest. I mean, look, they're everywhere. It tells you the different districts here in Canada, VE2, VE3, 4, 5, 6. Just as beautiful. This is something that if you were to purchase and get like as a Christmas present, I think you'd probably sit and stare at it for hours. It really is. And one thing that's nice, if this is too busy for you, like, there's just too much information, you can always cut it back. It's easy to do that. So if you wanted to cut back on the satellites, for example, okay, you'd go to satellites, select it. You'd go to amateur radio, right? You've already shown them all, right? So now you can hide them if you need to. So now they'll pop off the screen. You'll still see the Hubble and the ISS. Those will still show up in their long orbits. But the amateur radio satellites, see, they'll just pop right off the screen here in just a moment. And then you'll be left with just a regular map that shows the ISS and the Hubble Space Telescope. It's kind of cool. GPS operational satellites will show up. Miscellaneous military will show up. SpaceX. Yeah, SpaceX, when they launch and stuff. Yep, you can see that live. The GOES satellites, right there. All of this stuff, and look at all these. There's an amazing amount of satellites that are here. It goes all the way to the Iridium Next, the Iridium, the Intelsat. A lot of different stuff, okay, that's there. And if you want to, for example, let's say, for example, you want to go back to the show all for amateur radio, right? You just want to show amateur radio. You pop them on the screen. The cool thing is you always know when you're have someone close overhead. That's pretty cool. Again, my location's here, and I can see this one just left. I can see the speed. I can hear this one here in the direction it's going and its speed. It's just a fantastic product. Again, Geochron Atlas 4K. Now, one other thing real quick, because we're already in this video 22 minutes. Don't want to go too long in it. Let me show you one of the features that's new to the Atlas. This is different than what the last Geochron had, okay? So on the Atlas model, it will show now the COVID numbers, okay? It will show that. It also has a great option. It'll show weather, and it'll show where the weather fronts are around the world. This is just super cool. This is just like really cool. So let me get over here where we can get the weather on the screen, and then get up here to hopefully help it go down. So there we go. If you want to see, for example, the cloud cover, you move over, you click it, you move it up a little bit, and you'll start seeing clouds appear. Remember, it's a mini computer. See, now the clouds are showing up. And the more opacity you give it, the more the clouds will show up. But that's not all you can do. You can also, let's say, for example, you want to know where it's really raining, right? You really want to know where it's just some crummy weather. You can add precipitation into this as well and know where it's raining. Look at those clouds all of a sudden. Watch them change. They're going to all of a sudden, you're going to see this like purple and blue show up in these clouds. And it's just cool to watch. It's fascinating to watch them as they build, as they, go through their cycles. It's an amazing project. It really is. Eric. Yep. Black Friday sale at Gigaparts. There you go. Eric, Kilo Charlie 3, Quebec Kilo Juliet. But Eric, we know you're Kilo Charlie 3, Queen King Jack. Got to stay that way. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming. So again, this is the Geochron Atlas 4K. It is a fantastic device. I think for not only ham radio folks, but I think for people who just really like to have something special in their shack, right? You've got your radio, and we enjoy those, right? We enjoy hanging out on the radio and making great calls to people, but you can watch this thing and just know exactly where it's Grayline and work that area if you've got a directional beam, or if you've got, your own area and you want to find out, well, where else is Grayline? Because remember, our signals will travel well over the Grayline. Maybe you can work somewhere else along the Grayline. This will help you do that. Great product, really is. I just, the one thing I just don't like the 1 foot cord. Just go and buy yourself a 4 footer over at Best Buy. Make sure it is a male to female, not female to female unit. It will, sorry, male to male unit. You buy the male to male, it ain't going to work. You need the female to male cable, and you'll be thrilled. About 4 footer. Then it won't hang. You can put it, you know, you can hide away. Just hide a nice little area that's got some air blowing on it. Put it horizontal. You'll be fine. Geochron 4K Atlas. Double thumbs up from me. I think it's a great product. I think it will be good on your Christmas list, look better on your wall, and for years, you will be thrilled. Thanks for watching, everybody. Ham Radio Live. Again, please hit the subscribe button. It's my honor and privilege to bring you the show, and that's how new hams can find the channel. It's good to see you. Until next time, God bless you, and thanks for watching the show. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November, and that was the Geochron Atlas 4K. Definitely a cool thing. Goodbye, everybody.